World War II ended in 1945. The Allies, United States, France, Soviet Union, and Great Britain established occupation administrations in Germany. It was divided into Western and Eastern occupation zones accordingly. A denazification program was set up in Germany. This was an Allied initiative to rid German and Austrian society, culture, press, economy, judiciary, and politics of any remnants of the National Socialist Nazi ideology, and led to the prosecution of Nazi war criminals and the removal of ex-Nazis from power. I interviewed my neighbour Arnie Westermann, who was drafted into the army in 1945 once the war was over and was sent to Germany.
In high school, and then when I was 18, I graduated from Lincoln High School when I was 17. When I was 18, I went to Reed College and went there for one semester, and then I went into the Army. And so I got into the Army and I got into the Medical Corps. I went to work in a hospital in Brigham City, Utah, Bushnell General Hospital, where there were the vets who had been injured badly. Some had been injured so badly that they were paraplegics and quadriplegics. You know what those are. Yeah. So I was called a ward boy, and I did that until I couldn't stand it anymore. And I said, I got to get out of here. I don't want to do this anymore. And so I joined the regular Army. And when I did, I got a chance to go to basic training as an infantryman and in heavy weapons, as a matter of fact, shooting machine guns and that sort of thing. And I went to Germany. And like I say, the war was over. So what we did when we went in, we became the Army of Occupation. And our job, theoretically, was to bring democracy to Germany and have a good time, perhaps.
During Arnie's time in Germany, the denazification program was in place. This included the Nuremberg trials, a series of military tribunals held by the Allied forces of World War II, most notable for the prosecution of prominent members of the political, military, and economic leadership of Nazi Germany. This was a tense time in Germany, as Arnie remembers.
The Germans that I did meet all denied having known anything about concentration camps. Well, I don't recall seeing any officers of any sort. I was basically with the people in this Erlangen community, which, as I say, was a college town. And so, if they dropped into the general public, I would not have known who they were. I didn't get that kind of information. None of us did, as to whether we were talking to officers and officers of rank. No, we were 18 years old. We knew shit, if you know what I mean. I think it had to have been a little older to really appreciate the scope of the situation.
Yeah.
And as we visited the concentration camps, we knew about that. Well, we didn't see the bodies. Because, right, but by the time we got there, they'd been cleaned out to some extent. But as far as the Nuremberg trials were concerned, that was very confusing to us, because basically everything had to be translated in 3 different languages. And so the trials moved very, very, very slowly.
The first session entered indictments against 24 major war criminals and 7 organizations, including the leadership of the Nazi Party. Arnie remembers watching the trials of Rudolf Hess, who was appointed Deputy Führer to Adolf Hitler, and Hermann Göring, the highest-ranking Nazi official to be tried at Nuremberg, and originally Hitler's designated successor and the second highest-ranking Nazi official.
Very slowly. But I did see Rudolf Hess, and I saw Göring, and the other principals of the German war-making, war machine. But not much of it really came through to us.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, we were just a bunch of young kids, and we're there, and we're seeing these guys we've read about. But in terms of the material of the trial, and what was said and what was not said, and what was argued with, and so on, never came through to us.
Yeah.
At least not to me or my friends. We were just given the opportunity to go there for, I think, maybe an hour or so, and observe, and then leave. And Goering was smiling all the way, thinking it was all a joke. It's true. And Rudolf Hess was there, and he was the one who flew to England. You read about that.
Mm-hmm.
And he thought he could end the war. And they all kind of moved away from him. The other Germans all thought he was crazy.
Although there was widespread damage from the war, there was also growth, especially in America.
You have to understand, 13 million people came back from the war looking for jobs. So the market was a little hard to find work. Particularly, like I said, I wanted to be in a newspaper. Well, the guys who went to war, who worked at newspapers, they came back to get their jobs back, and so there wasn't always a job ready to go for us. But we had the best thing in the whole damn world. We had the GI Bill, and what the GI Bill did was it sent the guys to school, and it made this the most powerful country in the world. We had people who were being educated to lead the rest of this world in every area, in the way of manufacturing products. There was nothing better than America, nothing stronger, nothing more advanced than in America. We're dealing with a Europe that was down on its knees. I'd say that the mood of the country was rather euphoric. We went, we conquered, we won, we looked good, and we had the Marshall Plan, and America became the main country in the whole world. Can't go bad on that, can you?
No.
No. Everyone was working. Times were very, very good.